Hello, everyone, and we are back for the monthly episode of the Daily Prophetcast. Yeah, I had to say that up top because Rulek just loves making that joke. But we are back, and of course, we got one major thing to talk about. Like, we got. I know they called it a teaser, but bro, that didn't feel like a teaser. That was 2 minutes. That is what some would call a full trailer that we got yesterday.
Back in the 90s, that would have been trailer number one.
Yes, that would have been trailer. And early 2000s also. That would have been trailer one. Rue's here. I'm here. We're going to talk about it a little bit. I know he's upset because his Knicks got their ass beat by Charlotte.
Nah, I figured it was going to go one of two ways. One, it was going to be close and I was going to be surprised. Or two, I am at the point with the Knicks that I don't trust them. I love them. I don't trust them.
We'll talk a little bit afterwards because ESPN did some shit yesterday. Either way, we're going to talk about Harry Potter, and we'll start off with this: the title, "The Philosopher's Stone," because Rue, they're not doing we're going to have a different title for different reasons. It's just straight up the Philosopher's Stone. And also, what do you think about that new, slightly updated logo?
You know what? I didn't notice the logo actually. I was focused so much on Philosopher's Stone and being happy for all of my British friends and them smartening up and say just use the original title. That was like a real small thing, but it's a win for people. And I was like, yeah, y'all should do that. I like that. It's one of many little things that makes me feel that this is gonna be different, while of course being exactly the same, but still different. But looking at the logo, like pull it up again because I really didn't focus. I guess it feels a little bit more like smooth.
Yes.
And like the little tree at the end of the T is cool. It's tiny.
Little tree at the side of the H also.
Yeah, cool. Like the small little tweaks to say we're a little different, but we're still paying homage. That's cool. I'm gonna get this out the way because you didn't like set me up because this has nothing to do with the what. I'm annoyed. I'm more annoyed. I'm not as annoyed at the Nick. I'm annoyed at J.K. Rowling's dumbass for her stupid ass decisions.
Yes.
Stupid ass
yes.
And like have your opinions, but don't spread false shit about a woman who is clearly a woman. That woman in the Olympics has been proven to be one. Stop putting that shit out there. You're fucking stupid, especially with your great ass series out spreading positivity and you just makes no sense.
Which a friendly reminder, we take donations for Advocates for Trans Equality. You can hit the stream or the Streamlabs link up atop Rue's head. And any money we make goes to A4TE because we stand with trans women and trans folk in general. And we don't agree with what that dumb print says. I'm sorry. I'm just going to, I have no issue mincing words, especially after dealing with what I dealt with today in regarding my stance with the series and the franchise. So.
But yeah, back to it. Looks cool. Yeah. Again, everything has been, since seeing the trailer, all little things, because I'm going to watch this show.
Yes.
I am a little bit like, why are we doing this?
But
we are. I am going to watch it, and everything from the trailer is like, oh, these little things are the first little steps to say, these are the things we're going to get that we haven't got to, or at least a step closer to that. So cool.
Yeah, and we'll start off like this scene isn't seen in the trailer. However, I think it's the best way to start off with the two most boring people in the series, Petunia and Vernon. This is our official look at them from the pictures that dropped after the trailer. We'll dive in a little bit more to Petunia's actions in the trailer in a moment. But what were your thoughts on the two Dursleys? Or what are your thoughts on the two Dursleys now that we're starting to get some visual images? And then I'll click on this so we can just dive right into it. And how bland and boring their home looks and how they treat Harry. And that cupboard looks a lot more shitty than the one in the movie. I'll admit that.
Yeah, it's what they're supposed to do. I will say, all of this is going to be nitpicks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do wish. My biggest trouble is going to be separating from the Harry Potter I grew up with. I will have difficulty watching any trailer, not separating, and I have to work at that. So
Yes.
I think they look great. She was the first instance. Petunia was the first instance of like, oh, this feels like an HBO show and not a kids movie. She's mean as shit, and they are really leaning into it. The
Well,
picture of Vernon, though, I wish he was bigger, just because
that's what a lot of complaints have been.
But again, that's just a small. It's whatever, man. It's a small thing. But yeah, I wish he was bigger. But they look right. Ooh, that picture though that just came to mind. I'm used to Vernon being the head of the bullshit, and
Mm-hmm.
everything shown so far, even in that picture, it looks like Petunia is being the head of the bullshit. And I wonder if they're going to take liberties with that.
So I went back and started rereading the first book today, the first couple chapters specifically, because I wanted to talk about a lot of what we saw in the early on trailer or in that early on in the teaser. Because ultimately, what you end up seeing is some of the stuff that we get quickly described in chapter 2, which is we talked. You hear the narrator talking about Harry having his hair cut and how it grows back the next day because he didn't like it. Petunia forced it on him. You hear about Dudley picking on him at school and him running away and somehow ending up on the school roof and things of that nature. So to get a few moments to tease at that, I was like, all right, we're really doing show not tell. And giving you even more of a reason to care about this young boy from and see how bad he actually had it. Now, granted, uh, it's not like we didn't see him having it bad before, but it was light. Like the book, if you go back and reread the book, he goes. They treat him like absolute dog water. They talk about him like he's not in the room, uh, right in front of him. There are certain actions that they take, like they only give him the bedroom because the first letter comes in and they're like, how the hell do they know he's living in the cupboard under the stairs? Oh, maybe if we move him into the bedroom it'll stop. Like that's their reasoning for doing it. And so seeing that darker, nastier side of the Dursleys is something I was not expecting. I was expecting, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting to see it early on in this teaser.
For sure, for sure. But it's definitely a good way to kick off what feels like is going to be out the gate a darker, more mature take on the earlier kids like books.
Yes.
So, and that kicked off basically my feeling of in the entire trailer of again while fighting against my man, this isn't the same as so and so, or this isn't the same as so and so. Always having to fight that by, but looking at it as like this does not feel like the movie. This feels like something different or a different take or just like it's not a carbon copy, which is for the best.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with that. Now, I didn't pull a picture of the man because he's the one we've seen enough leaked step pictures of. But Hagrid, how did you feel about Hagrid, Drew?
I need more. That was the biggest one where I was like, ah man, I miss Robbie.
Yeah,
Robbie had it the whole time. And I had to be like, all right, I gotta get used to Nick. I gotta get used to his voice. What I
but the
did
fact that
like,
he's not even we've seen Nick Cross have that grumbling kind of voice before in the past. Not even attempting that. Just
yeah,
soft spoken coming. It's like when you'd hear Tim Duncan talk when he's
nice.
such this huge monstrous human being. He's just like this really soft spoken, kind of higher pitched than you expect voice, and you're like, I did not expect that voice to come out of that man's body.
Yeah, and it was more like what the parts I did like. Not saying I didn't like it, but
Yeah.
I was like, all right, not Gruffy, not Hagrid. Remember, this is Nick. When he started talking about James and Lily, They were the best people in the world. You heard the softness that Hagrid had.
Yes, and that I loved.
That is where I was like, you're going that way. You're not, if you're not putting in the gruff, you're putting in the softness and the childlike wonder and like just the big teddy bear aspect in the voice. I was like, okay, cool. We'll go that route. That again, having to have the natural, oh, it's not, and then be like, all right, what are you giving me so I can get used to what you're giving me?
Now, just real quick plot note from here, we can see based on, or we can hear based on the audio and quickly see that we're going to get the King's Cross drop off that happened in the book, not the movie, because the movie Hagrid takes him like the day that the Hogwarts Express is supposed to leave, and that's not how it is at all. You have the Dursleys drop him off at King's Cross, leaving him there to fend for himself because to them, platform 9 3/4 doesn't exist, and they're taking Dudley into the city to get his tail removed because that still hasn't happened yet. So to see him just standing in the middle of King's Cross by himself and hear Hagrid talk about next time we see each other, it'll be at Hogwarts. You're like, oh, so you're gonna have Harry live that month of hell. I don't know if we'll see it, but I'm curious. So there's that. But let's talk about this piece of it. We gotta look at his wand and Ollivander. I don't know how I feel about that Ollivander look because he looks too fly and whatnot. But if you look at the wand, it feels like they're trying to pay homage to Daniel Radcliffe's wand, or second wand, I should say. But also, I don't know if you're familiar with the wand from the Cursed Child Broadway show.
Bro, this is all you. One thing I never got into is what wand, outside of the Elder Wand, I couldn't tell you one wand from the other, from the end. That part is all you, fam. Wow. I got nothing on that. I will say
I'm a prop collector, so what am I supposed to do?
I don't have a wand. I don't have any Harry Potter props like that.
So I know what to give you at your wedding. Got it.
I would love a wand. I would definitely take one. I'm just not looking for one myself. What I was gonna say, what is my man's name who was playing him, who was played in basically every single geek TV show and stuff, because he was in Andor, he was in something else. And I was gonna call him Mark Rylance, but it isn't Mark Rylance. No. But it's the dude from Andor who offed himself at the end. Has a really distinct voice. I'll talk about that while you look up his name. That was the one thing that I thought was the closest to John Hurt. I heard his voice and I say, that is John Hurt, right? Homage right there.
Anton Lesser.
Yes.
And he was great.
Channeling John Hurt, like in the one line he had, he is definitely channeling him. And Ollivander himself, he looks fly, right? But the thing about Ollivander also had a air of like, you don't know if you like him or not. So he has to be kind of cocky and you can hear that he's going that route in his voice to match the flyness of the outfit. So I think it works there.
Fair enough. Well, here, let me educate you in some wand lore real quick. I gotta share the right tab, excuse me, because this is Harry's wand, and why is that up now? No, I don't want to see that. Just show me the damn.
I could see it in the background. I'm like, that's not what you're looking at right now.
That is Harry's wand in the Cursed Child.
You haven't shared it. Nobody can see it on screen.
Oh shit! There we go.
There it is.
That's Harry's wand in the Cursed Child. It looks pretty similar to what was shown. Wrong picture. Right there. Similar base and everything. And then this is Harry's wand. And everybody knows, or everyone besides Rue apparently knows what Harry's wand looks like in the films, where it's got like the looking like it's been a piece of wood struck by lightning almost. I've always been more partial to the simplistic one from the first film, but like it's one of those things where you just appreciate how they are taking the time to just allow things to pay homage, but be their own. That's Harry's wand in the first and the 3 through 7. I have 15 wands. I think actually it might be more. I'm not sure. I can't admit I'm a geek. Shit. But yeah. So moving on, we get this little shot, and I use this shot specifically because it gives it some insight into what Harry is like, or what he might be going through mentally. Because look at this as he's looking at Ron and his mom, and you can get a little shot of Jenny in the train window also, but like seeing that loving family, and also at the same time conveying this feeling of how Mrs. Weasley does care about her family without even having her say a word in the trailer. Like I was like, all right, you're doing multiple things with that one shot, and I can appreciate the artistry behind it.
Yeah, again, one of many shots that made me really like appreciate the television show is going to be allowed. As a television show, you can get into a lot of more of the emotion than the movie can, because the movie has a limited runtime, so they got to do everything. But you can have shots like that, or you could have the darker tone, or you could have all of these things that, while it's still going to be a kids movie with a whole bunch of kids TV show with a whole bunch of wonder, there's a lot of darkness in it that you can emphasize the emotionality of it. Thank you to Hector Navarro and Coy Jandreau for allowing me to remember a word like that, emotionality, because I've never said shit like that before watching those two. But anyway.
All right. Now let's talk about what a lot of people, including us, care about. That first look inside the castle, bro. Why isn't it showing yet?
It's showing. It's showing.
There we go. Look at that. Listen, we have some friends. Actually, we have 2 friends named Nick. One said this looks like all of the same in Harry Potter cosplay. The other just said this just feels like the movies. And when I see this shot, I'm wondering, what fucking movies are you watching and how high are you?
Where are you seeing it? Like I said, the trailer had a lot of little things, but the one thing throughout the trailer went with this and with the greenhouse, not green.
You're right, the greenhouse.
Yeah, the greenhouses. I audibly heard myself go, "Oh shit! This looks, even if it's a little glimpse, this looks grander." And it was grand as hell in the movie. The little small shots we got of the boat 2 inside looks a lot grander and does not look like the movies to me.
I think the best way I've able to here. The thing about the movies is the locations are grounded in realism because they are actual, for the most part, actual places or reproductions of places that they've been in the past, because they needed to keep going to prevent themselves from keep having to pay to shut it down and go there. So it's all real Gothic architecture and everything, and that's cool and all. But like this and some of the other quick shots that we see scream Gothic, but whimsical at the same time. You know what I mean?
If you think about the opening shot up the stairs with Dame Maggie Smith in the movie before they go into the Great Hall, if I was going to compare them that picture with that image side to side and be like, which one looks more fake and which one looks more real, the television show looks more real. The movie looks like a movie set. And I like,
which is in the movie, it was just a hallway in an actual like cathedral. Like it's what it is.
And I want to take this time to bring up something I saw that like does have merit, but does it really matter? I don't know. I don't know if it's the color grading or the lighting. Like if you look at the movie and you look at this, it's hella dark.
Yes.
The show looks hella dark.
I saw someone say, "Do kids today not like color?"
Yeah, I see it, but does it really matter? I mean, yes, it matters. When I say does it really matter, before getting into this review space, I've been in a review space for 7 years. I watched movies all my life, and I couldn't tell you the difference between when watching one
One
thing,
color
between
grading and another.
color grading and lighting to another, until people started to bring it out. And yes, it matters. Yes, there's a difference. But for the casual moviegoer and most moviegoers, I'm watching what I'm watching, and I'm not comparing it to the brightness of something else.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about that? Because people said that about like Wicked 2, and I was like, really? I guess.
I understand some of it, because it's one of those things where, whether we like to admit it or not, when you go darker, it looks like a more what's the word? It looks like a more professional cinematic look. That's just is what it is. Rarely ever do you see a movie that's bright and colorful come off as this huge cinematic thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I know that's messed up to say, but like it's kind of true. And
all I know is when the Quidditch shot came up, that was bright.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Don't worry. We'll talk about that. I do want to. I'm trying to find this one specific picture. If I can't find it yet. Oh well. The classroom. The look inside that one classroom. How grand and huge it was.
Snape's potions classroom.
I thought it was either that or Charms class, because I saw
because of the
step ladder next to the chalkboard and everything.
And his seats look very similar to the seats in the Wingardium Leviosa scene.
Yes,
just more cathedral-like, and not a small hallway like it is in the movie, but like rows on top of rows on top of rows, like movie theaters now with the loungers, like those kind of seating. Yeah, one of the two. But it's hella dark in there. And because it's hella dark in there, that makes me think it's the dungeon.
And that's totally fair. And I do need to share this picture as well, because it is one of those things where we got confirmation that this is the Gryffindor common room that I'm pulling up right now. And again,
dark. Can't really tell anything.
Harry's dark. It's well lit, and then if you slide over, this is the aerial view we got of it. This is the Gryffindor comp. So that is much different, but also considering how many times we've seen them talk about, or in the book they talk about how the common room is able to look over the railing and things like that. Kind of makes sense, because the movies, outside of the Happy Christmas shot, it just seems like it's a hallway, and that's that. You go up, and that's that. Like, so, hey, but it was one of the shots where I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, I'm in. Like, when I found out that was it, I'm like, all right, cool. Just, and can't forget, we have to talk about. We will talk about this in a little bit, but we will talk about the uniforms as well and the slight changes they've done to those. But before we do that, how you feel about that sorting hat?
It's a hat.
Yeah.
I honestly, every time the couple times I've watched a trailer, Ollivander is speaking, so I thought that was the hat speaking, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, this is going to be the second, and it's not going to be the last time where I'm like, this is you, man. It's a small thing. I don't.
No, I was just curious. I was just like. It's
a hat.
It feels more like a hat than the original one did. The original one fits the description of being so beaten down and tattered and whatnot. And the shot was, again, hella dark, so couldn't really do, like, it's like, all right, cool, that's a sorting hat. You didn't want to show it talking for me or doing
it's the same thing we get with Janet McTeer as McGonagall. You just see her smiling, but you don't get her yet. So it's like, all right, cool, we got it. Small glimpse. There is one small glimpse that I was like, who is that? What the? Ooh, wait. And when we get to it, which towards the end, the black person that did not look like Snape. I was trying to figure out who that was.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. But
you didn't know who I was talking about. I wasn't trying to give it away, but I had to.
You could have just done that in the private chat, bro. You could have done that in the private. But all right. So Rue was talking about this just a little bit, but now we get to deep dive in it. The broom and Quidditch look. Rue, how do you feel about the Nimbus 2000 coming in like a Red Ryder BB gun box? I thought it was a nice little twist, but I
Again, these were the small things that are like, this looks different. This feels
yes,
different. This does not look like the very small things. The outfits made it look different. So I was like, this doesn't look like the Quidditch matches
we
from the movies at all,
we
which is
we,
a
we
good
got a
thing.
quick we got a quick glimpse of what it's like inside the Quidditch locker room. Uh, I mean, you could tell their uniforms Quidditch it's like a slightly armored front. It seems like because you do have bludgers coming at you, so it would make sense to have that. But like getting to see Harry and Ron like dancing over opening the Nimbus 2000, like I was like,
Yeah.
that's something a child that age, especially when you open a box like that and find you have the what is at that moment in time the top racing broom model, like but it's one of those things where I was like, nice little touch. I was very shocked though, and I'm not upset about it, that we're the broom style. I'm gonna pull this up again. The broom style threw me off. Now,
This is one small thing that, again, I've been telling you the small things. I'm like, whatever. Again, noticeable. This
and
is
but I
noticeable.
like it because when you're a kid and you're thinking about flying brooms, you're thinking about something more like this design, and you can see the one held by the Hufflepuff in the corner is like two brooms cross section to go like this,
Yeah.
and it's like that's different, but I vibe with it. We got used to these really sleek and well outside the Firebolt, which was still sleek, but it was still like a rough design. Where this is that's it's the 90s for one, and two, that's what as a kid reading the books you thought the brooms may kind of look like.
So, like, I've repeated myself like 5 times already this show about the little things, but I think what you just said kind of summed up everything I'm talking about, and the little ones we'll talk, the last couple of things we'll talk about towards the end, the little things. The movie is sleeker. The movie
Yes,
feels sleeker. This feels grounded. This feels more tattered. This feels more tangible. All those tangible things, the tangible sets, the tangible clothes, the tangible rooms, the tangible, even like, again, Nick Frost's tangible voice or whatever. It feels more tangible, while the movie felt more glitz and glamored up. And that change right there is what made me happy about this trailer.
that's fair. All right, well, this is the portion we're going to start diving into some of these characters because towards the end we got a lot of shots of characters. This is a combination of shots from the trailer and shots of stuff that came out after the trailer from various news articles and references. But you got to start off with this shot of the golden trio right there. Which can I say, even though we didn't get to hear her speak, Arabella Stanton caught my attention whenever she was on screen as Hermione. Now, granted, that may also be because I've been listening to the full cast audio editions in which she is the voice of Hermione, but she, her and Dominic seem to look, and no, there's no shots for anyone, the most like their movie counterparts. Arabella looks kind of like a few shades darker Emma Watson at a young age. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Am I wrong in saying that? Like,
No, no. Again, she stood out for me too. And I compared to Rupert. What is that actor's name? Who's playing Ron?
I forget who's playing.
Okay. Well, he. You said that they seem most like their counterpart. You said.
Yeah,
I would say for Hermione, yes. I would say
Alice.
for
Alistair Stout is the new Ron.
he was the opposite for me.
Yes.
He was the one that stuck out for me, that he didn't seem like Ron.
Yes.
And he seemed a little younger and a lot different. And like, my worry, because this is a kid actor, I'm not going to worry about him. I want to see him be the intelligent but not intelligent Ron. I want to see the come on, bro. I want to see how he plays that. The not common sense, the you know what it is. Ron is smart, but sometimes you be like, come on, bro. Rupert, like at the start, you got that vibe from him in the movie. We got nothing about him until the end, and I didn't feel that yet. So I was like, okay, cool. You got the little kid, but I want to see how you do the Hermione just talking shit about Ron for reasons. I want to see how he does that.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest questions I have when it comes to that young actor too. But like he won my heart over with like, are you really Harry Potter? And Dominic's just like, yeah.
Okay, since we're there already, what the fuck was that? What was
It
that?
was it was a cute little moment. That was just a
Was
cute
that
little
like
moment.
okay? So the full teacher bias here. All these little kids doing things that I don't get, and then me reminding
That
myself,
mind blown is that's definitely
I've never seen that before, and I was like, what is that supposed to? Is that look? And then I tell myself, I probably did dumb shit that my older counterparts had no idea what I was talking about. But that was me being an old curmudgeon. Like I don't know what that was, but okay, sure. Um, be mad at me all you want, and I mean that like actually do it. I'm being an old curmudgeon on that, an old curmudgeon that teaches children every single day, and I'm like, go somewhere with that. Like I don't get it. Leave me alone. Go do you away from me.
all right. Well, we do have another look at them. We got a you got a quick look at Ron. I'm wondering, I can't tell if this is in the dining hall or because news has come out this week, and I'll throw this stuff in with these pictures specifically. We're gonna get to see the Burrow in season 1 early on and get a little bit of time with Ron, and we're also going to see Hermione get her Hogwarts letter, which I think ultimately adds to the lore that they're giving us because you're gonna get to see what happens when a Muggleborn finds out they're going to Hogwarts, and that's something that's like,
That's
yeah,
dope. That's dope.
I feel like it's very comparable to, and I hate bringing up this movie because it sucks, but X3, when it starts off with Charles and Eric going to meet Jean Grey and explaining what's going on to her parents and so on and so forth. It's the only thing I can think of that's a valid comparison in film or television.
One X3's grown on me every time I watch it. It's still not great, but I never thought it sucked. But anyway, second, I do like the addition of that. These are the new things that like we've always wondered and don't get. I'm gonna assume that picture of Ron is in the burrow because he's not in robes.
Right.
That look
But
is what I'm talking about.
we
That look he gave right there is the you little mischievous, you don't know what you're doing, but we gonna talk shit about you, but you don't care type of that's the look I'm looking for.
It was like, all right, I thought we have proof of that look. We're good.
Yes.
We're all good. But no, I mean, we did have that scene of them running across somewhere in Hogwarts Castle, which is why I was like, it could be somewhere there within that realm, but I like what we've seen of them. Now, while we talk about the Golden Trio, we got to talk about their own personal nemesis. Motherfucker had the swagger of just this kid didn't give a fuck. And Locks Pratt, I was like, oh, we really doing like you see how he's holding that wand? He's like, what you gonna do, motherfucker? Let's go. Let's go. And his Crab and Goyle behind him. He's got the pinky ring like Tom Felton had later on in the series. Something I've noticed about the robes is they aren't like sleeved robes. They have like these areas for just their normal sweaters to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think it's different. I like it. And also, since I think that was one of the better ways to show it, then we're not having separate house crests. It's just like a lot of other schools would do, it's a Hogwarts crest, period. Like it's
And
a Hogwarts.
you could have crests somewhere else. So
They're just a lot. So a lot of British schools, it's you have the school crest and then your colors. That's it, and that's seemingly what they're doing. So I can respect and understand that decision because, sure, was it cool having the crest? Yeah, but that's what a British primary school would be like, where you just have the school crest on your blazer or jacket, and then everything else is whatever color you need to be associated with. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
So small details, especially when you think about what the culture over there is like, that I really appreciate.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, Locks Pratt, bro. What are your thoughts on our new Draco Malfoy?
Um, he plays it well. Honestly, like I didn't even realize that was Draco. I just thought it was a bully, and then I was like, oh yeah, that has to be Draco. So he looks like he's playing it well. That's Crab and Goyle in the back very easily.
Pansy
With
Parkinson,
Crab, yeah, yep. With Crab with the fucked up hair and everything. So like yeah, the fact that like I did not register just shows me all right. He's playing it as naturally as possible. All right, cool.
yeah, no, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm very like here. I really like Tom Felton's portrayal of Malfoy in 3 the most. I think that was peak of Malfoy, and if we get that throughout the entire series this time, because that feels like the energy Malfoy should carry up until 6, which it seems like just based off of how he was in that moment of the trailer, I was like, body acting is important, and didn't say a word, but the body acting he did there
He had
was
presence.
exactly.
He has presence.
So
for sure.
All right. And then you talked about her a little bit. Let's get to Minerva McGonagall. That hat is a choice.
That hat looks like something Dame Maggie Smith would rock like crazy, and so would McGonagall. And the face is the same.
Yes.
You said I was calling for Janet McTeer. I wasn't calling for it, but when I heard it, I was like, yes. And just the look shows it. Again, got to see more. I got to hear more.
Well, to be fair, the first episode we did, when we still didn't know who McGonagall, even though it wasn't technically an episode of Prophetcast, when the Snape news came out, the Papa Acetu Snape news and the Brett Goldstein, she wasn't the one mentioned, and you brought her up.
Okay, so well, I'll take that credit because I don't remember that, because I don't remember even saying Janet McTeer's name. I wouldn't remember Janet McTeer's name off rip. So if I did that, and if I didn't, I'll take credit.
Well, you talked about her, and it was one of those things like, or this other actress, and you're talking about what she's in, and I looked her up, and you're like, yes, her. So that I still give you credit for that.
What I probably did is I probably typed in who do I think should probably play McGonagall, and her name kind of came up in her face. So I was like, all right, I'll go there. Cool.
You named a movie she was from. That's why I was giving like you're like, it's this woman from this movie. I saw it recently, or it was a TV show. You brought it up that way. But yeah, like
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I don't know about that outfit though. The outfit, like the outfit with the hat, rock with it. This other outfit seems a little too Muggle for me.
Well, if anybody's gonna be a Muggle, it's gonna be McGonagall. And I don't know, maybe like I think the opening of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone / the Philosopher's Stone is one of the best openings ever. Like to introduce everything. And she's the one, Dumbledore is the one in the weird robes. McGonagall would be the one who knew she was doing. So like maybe we'll get a scene or two of her at the beginning being in the Muggle world and being the one who knows how to dress amongst the Hogwarts staff.
Yes.
Maybe.
Real quick, want to say welcome, Master Ginger. Greetings for the Ginger Network. As you know, the new Harry Potter series is different from the original film based on new actors. However, we shall see. So I agreed. Just when someone was commenting, so I wanted to give them the little moment. But all right, Rue, we put this one off for one of the last two for a reason, because I'm not sharing the other photo of him because the other photo of him was real bad. But how you feeling about Snape, bro?
Okay, that was Snape, right?
Yep, that was Snape.
Because I couldn't tell. I saw Black Man and I saw kind of dreads, and I was like, wait a second, is that like Snape or is that like another?
I knew it from because of Papa Acetu's face. We'd seen it enough recently. I was like, oh, that's Snape. That's Snape.
Fam, he popped like crazy. He came on. I was like, ooh, who's that? Who is that? Maybe, quite possibly, might make me think Snape is a good. Nah, fuck that. Snape is an asshole. Fuck that dude. But as an actor, he looks like he's about to kill it.
I do have to bring up the other picture of him as Snape because it is.
I haven't seen it, so
Oh, some people have said it's swag and it's just swaggy and drippy, but others have said it's not the best, and I tend to agree with the others in this. Uh that is confirmed to be from the Harry Potter series. This zipper with a just
can you full screen that?
I'm about to.
Because like from here, as Snape, I would say that's a no. But if it wasn't Snape,
I'm about to make
I'm
a
not
graphic
mad.
for it real quick.
I'm not mad at it. But as Snape, it's like, oh well, this is the thing though. That's the thing. Because again, we're getting deeper into people probably. Because we're getting like twice as long or 3 times as long of information from each television series as we are the movie, right? And
Yeah.
Snape in general did not come from wealth. He's real serious and he's real like, so a lot of his clothes could be a little bit more like, you're not seeing me in extravagant anything. And he was
It looks too much like a like a 90s tracksuit to me.
It is the 90s though, so it depends on where he's at. But like, no, I'm with you. It looks a little weird. It doesn't look bad. For Snape, it looks a little like, where are we and what are we doing? Because this doesn't look like something Snape would wear. So I want to see where he's at. I want to see what he's doing. But I don't think it looks bad. I just think it looks off.
I got it made.
The character.
I got it made in a graphic. It is uploading right now, and I'll open it as soon. There we go.
See, like up close, the outer jacket is right.
The outer jacket is it's the material that seems off, unless that's more like a leather, and I just can't tell from it. Well, like the center coat, like.
So the question is, I'm trying to figure out, because you've read them sooner than I have. What is this? Why is he outside in the forest?
Some people are theorizing that this is when he's having, because in the book he has his moment with Quirrell in the forest.
Right. Okay.
So some people are theorizing that this is that moment.
I'm going to say this overall. I'm not mad at it. I get the zipper and everything, throwing everything else off, but with the outer jacket, like, maybe when he's moving, if
it was buttons, I probably wouldn't care. It's that zipper just feels so out of place.
It does, and again, we're talking about the smallest little things, but I think when he's moving, when we're watching him in the scene, it's gonna look right. That's what I think. Again, for me, doesn't look bad.
This looks like he's wearing like a suit jacket and everything, and that's why I was like, all right, cool, like that. That seems to be like fitting. It just looks so like this is, I see the swag people are talking about. This I'm like, bro, wait.
Adam Gordon 1393. I'm sorry, I don't know what a Rain Mac and a Gillet is. Please learn me something today. Yeah, because that sounds like slang from. Please teach me, because I don't know what that means. I'm gonna assume that's like a raincoat and something else, but like I don't know that slang, so you got to teach me. So like let us know in the comments what that means for us dumb Americans or whatever. And if it's American slang, I'm sorry, I just don't know what you're saying, but it sounds like
it's a type of coat. I just looked it up.
Cool. All right. Cool. And again, if it wasn't Snape, and again, this is the little bit of nitpicks. We're being nerdy and geeking out. And if it wasn't Snape, I think that looks cool. But like, I'm with you. I think the button up feels a little more natural. I do think when we see him move in it, we won't give a damn.
Now, something that he's also talked about in interviews, because funny how all the interviews started happening over the last week or so, right before this trailer dropped. Besides his death threats, he talked about how he filmed a Quidditch scene, and that he talked. And I'll go to our friends at Wizarding World Net, because they have it just the quote for me, so I'm not even gonna fight myself on. He said there's an episode with a lot of Quidditch, and my character has to fly a broom. They built a whole stadium for that, and I saw one of the scenes where Harry has to fly, and they've got wires. Then I had to do mine, and my broom was on the end of this big mechanical arm. I was doing it It's not particularly comfortable, but whatever. Then I fell off and was hanging off my broom. So we're going to get to see that match after the whole struggle to where Harry gets knocked off his room and Snape is protecting him almost.
Yep. Sounds like it.
And then lastly, I didn't use the trailer picture because I like this one so much more. Dumbledore, look at our man looking a lot like Richard Harris in that. Like
that I actually like the little shot they gave in the trailer because I got the same vibe. I was like, oh shit, that is John Lithgow. Oh shit, that is Dumbledore. Richard Harris.
The hat in that shot threw me off. The hat
again, that looked like him in the Muggle world. That looked like him not knowing what to do and doing the hat, and that seemed like okay, Dumbledore just being like the I don't give a kind of dude he always is.
Yeah, but. Like, I like this Richard Harris-esque look, and you get a little bit more of the preview of what part of the castle looks like without all the candles and everything. So that's cool. Like, what they've shown us in the last 24 hours has me interested and somewhat invested and thrilled, despite what some people may think of me because of those thoughts. This is just.
You can just add people if you just add people, bro.
No,
I can't remember what it's called. You're not gonna call them out. I'm just trying to be funny and stupid.
No, because it's numerous.
At me, bro. That's the phrase. Yeah. At me, bro. Come on, at me, bro.
It's numerous people. It's not just one, which is why I say that. But like. Some people just want to escape back to their childhood. And I think Rue and I both essentially said that's what this is seemingly allowing us to do, especially with everything fucked up in the world right now. Sometimes you just want a little escape. And I think there's no better way to escape than watching this on Christmas with your family and your loved ones. Like when they said Christmas 2026, I'm like, now, is this an actual Christmas Day thing, or is this around Christmas? Because if it's Christmas Day, if the first episode at least drops on Christmas Day, that is brilliant on their part.
Yeah. That is a great release date. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again now. Fuck J.K. Rowling and all her stupidity.
Yes.
And some people will not watch the show, and all power to you. I understand. I have different lines for different people. My lines for this are, I think, the message of the show and the book and the movie weighs more than the stupidity of its creator. So my line is I'm watching and talking about it. Other people's lines are they're not watching and they're not talking about it and not supporting. Yes.
More power to you in that regard.
Yes.
But as I've told people in the debates I've gotten in over the last day or so, at the end of the day.
Did they go in? No, sorry. Wrong thing.
The message that this book preaches, while she may be hypocritical as fuck by not following it, is the acceptance of everyone, no matter who they are. That's what this book preaches first and foremost. This series preaches first and foremost. And because of that, and how that helped form me as a young boy into adulthood, I've carried that message with me. Now, are there some questionable things in the book, like certain names like Cho Chang and making Dean Thomas a black child of a single mother? Yes, there are.
Question. Actually, that brought up a thing because I want to call the man Wesley every time so bad because of How to Get Away with Murder, but his name is Alfie Enoch.
Yeah.
He brought up the fact that like he thought Lee Jordan, there was an interview he did about being Dean and how he wasn't really going to audition. And he said, man, the only black character I'm going to audition for, the only black character is Lee Jordan. And that made me think, in the book, is Dean Thomas black or did they just cast Alfred?
In the first book, he's not. It's
there you go.
And then
I was going to say,
as the series progressed, there is the hints that he is black. Yes.
Okay, but then so like even the whole black single mother thing, he wasn't black in the first place. And shout out to Alfie. Alfie made Dean black. He confirmed that shit. So there you go.
But yeah, I mean, like, and there's a whole thing. People are like, oh, Shacklebolt's racist. I'm like, the man's name is Kingsley for a reason, because he is kingly, and it's there's the Shacklebolt name is one of those things that people don't realize goes multiple ways, because some people have said it's a comment on the fact that black men are kingly and shackled and can't make it past a certain point, and that man ends up becoming minister of magic. So like you got to look at both parts of a name sometimes. I can see both sides of it. I don't necessarily land on one or the other, but like either way, we're excited for this. Yep, Adam Gordon. I forgot about Cho Chang. Yeah.
Also, though, I'm pretty sure there are people named Cho Chang in this world. So, like,
yes.
Eh.
But like, so to go turn around and be like, yeah, there's some racist. It's like, it's also a kid's book, and you want to make names somewhat simple, especially with all the other shit that isn't simple in it. So it goes with the territory. But real quick, it wouldn't be one of the first few episodes of Pottercast without me giving the quick review of Order of the Phoenix audiobook that came out 2 weeks ago. Just finished it the other day. By far, just absolutely amazing. Keira Knightley's Umbridge is hilarious and fantastic, and it makes me realize how much that movie just fucked everything over. So there's that. But yeah, I really have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed going through that series. But yeah, this was today's episode of Daily Prophetcast. This month's episode. We'll be back next month, where I'm sure we'll have stuff to dive into.
We can't go an episode without mentioning, when does Percy Jackson season 3 come out? Because we have to mention
December.
Percy Jackson every single time. So we getting both Harry and Percy in the same month in 2026?
Yep.
Let's go. Couldn't end without mentioning my mates.
Yeah. So with that, folks, thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you. But we will see you next time. Peace.